Okay, let's go. I got a lot of stuff to talk about on this vlog. I got a stuff to talk about a Lego. I got a stuff to talk about a Thomas. I got a stuff to talk about a troll. I got to talk about a stuff about the giveaway. Lot of stuff. I better stop this stupid voice or I'm not gonna get to the vlog. Let's go.
Okay, enough of the stupidness for me. Quite capable of being stupid, but I want to get through this as fast as I can. It's going to be probably very long, I'm sorry, but let's go. I had a person appear on my channel just recently, in the sense they sent me a PM. They said, hey, I won this prize, and of course they did some investigation, and I thought, well, initially I couldn't work out who was this person. It wasn't from anything I did that recently, and it ends up, if I go back 3 months ago, it was a winner from the $5, remember the comparisons of all the $5 toys? It was a winner from that giveaway, and I sort of said back, I found out who you were after toing and froing with PMs. I said, look, one of the conditions of the giveaways is, you know, you got 2 weeks or so to get back to me, give me an address to send the prizes, and the things start happening. And he said, oh, okay, that sounds fair. He actually was very polite, and he said, look, you know, I'll agree with you, and he wanted to let the prize go, and probably because he was so polite, I thought, well, look, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a second chance, and what I'm going to do is let the audience decide whether the prize is actually this one. I told him I didn't have it anymore, but I actually had it. I've had a number of these sets, and I actually gave one of these secretly away recently, but we'll get to that maybe later on. It was that set there, and what we'll do is, what do you think, guys, out in the audience, because the audience always knows, should we be fair? I think the channel name was Andy Apple, was the person who had won this. He came back to me after 3 months. Where was he for the 3 months? I know some people, their parents or carers are quite restrictive in the time that they allow people to be on YouTube. Maybe it was the issue. Maybe he went on a great big extensive cruise on the QE2, who knows? But I think I'm going to be, for once I'm going to be fair, and then from now on, if people don't get back to me within that time, and people don't look at the more info area and the conditions of entry of a giveaway, that's it. All over Red Rover. So tell me what we should do there. I know you guys are going to know. And just on another giveaway, and it's a more recent one, it was the one with the 10 little base plates on the minifigures. And when I say a base plate, it's this part here that I asked someone to, or asked the people out there to design something using 10 only. It was actually quite an interesting giveaway, and it really did bring out some very interesting Lego builders. It was nice in that sense. It kept quiet as well, which was nice. Unfortunately, the person who has won this giveaway, and the first prize is basically 16 minifigures of Series 8. This person cannot give me an address to send these to, which is, you know, he won, but he can't get permission to send me an address, which is, I can understand. I can't force that address from this person. So I do not know what I'm going to do with these now. You're probably going to say, oh, why don't you just give it to the next person, or the next best entry? But the problem there is that I actually had 3 winners, and there were 2, you might call it silent winners. There were 2 extra prizes. One was the helicopter you just saw. The other one was I think the Lego TIE Fighter, and some other stuff. I sent some fake Lego out, and the bits and bobs that I had, you know, stored away. And I'm not making a big thing of this. It's, you know, I like to do things a bit secretly sometimes. So I don't think that's worthy to go to the next person. Will be the 4th winner, in a sense, the 4th best entry. I don't think we should be giving the first prize to the person who came 4th, because prize 2 and 3 have been taken. So maybe, I'm trying to get out of Lego for obvious reasons if you've been watching my channel. And just speaking of trying to get out of Lego, a lot of people saying, oh, Leo, you haven't done Series 9 minifigures. I was going to do a box-to-box comparison. Like, I'm going to get 2 of these boxes, do a box-to-box breakdown, and see what goes on between 2 boxes at $600 worth of Lego. I won't be doing that now. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this, but I'll tell you what, you won't be seeing it on my channel. And just on Lego still, there is one last hurrah I'm doing with Lego. It's a dark side video. And it really is the last hurrah. I suppose I'm seeing this, and I'm thinking, that's wrong. I'm seeing the Lego name there. I can assure you, what's inside the box here is not Lego. And I think Lego have got some tidying up to do. I think their legal teams, who I know are very active, I know, come along and do some tidying up because I'm seeing that as well. That's very similar to a known Lego set. I've actually got the Reels McCoy set down under my bench, and the dark side version of this is going to be a complex video because there's all these different variations of what people think is right and wrong with Lego. So give me a break, I'll get something. Give me 2 secs.
Look and light, Dad!
Oh, cool, thank you. I'll give this a go. I don't know how effective it's going to be. I'm not very sure if this is a good idea because it may aggravate that spider, and I'm not a very good shot. Oh, I'm at the back. Luigi had taken off the table. Anyway, if I bring up a camper van's here, this is an Oxford camper van. This is a Lego camper van. I think that's from 2006 era, I think. Please correct me if I'm totally wrong, which I always am. People will say that this one here is a breach over that one. And it's a very complex subject when you start looking at Lego and what people perceive as being copyright breaches and design breaches. And it's a very, very deep subject, and it's going to be quite a complex dark side video to bring, because before we look at the dark side stuff, we've got to look at all of the arguments and all the some other brands, Enlighten and a few others, to bring them onto the table and just say, well, you know, where does this stand? But that would be the last hurrah, in a sense, of Lego stuff on my channel. I'm sorry to say, I've just had too much trouble with Lego. Really had enough. And there is a giveaway that is the last, probably the biggest giveaway that I'm going to do, and it's sort of tied up with the dark side stuff. I'll be giving away, if I get the box around the right way, that plus that, and it's going to be also the Death Star. I haven't got the Death Star here because I'm not paying what I see in the shops for it. It's a ridiculous price here in Australia. I do live in the land down under, a long way away from the rest of the world. And what I did was, I got my friend the Beanmeister had purchased the Death Star in the USA. I financed the whole giveaway. He's already got the Death Star. I've already got those sets. It's going to be between our 2 channels. It's going to run over the USA summertime. That's what we're planning. We're still doing a lot of talk about what exactly will we have as the things to do to be in this giveaway. Please don't hound me about it yet. It's big, but it is the absolute final thing of Lego with me. And I got into Lego, I should tell you the background story, I got into Lego through the Beanmeister 22, so that's the connection there. And he said to me quite a few years back now, Leo, he said, look, yeah, get into Lego, it's a good thing to get into, it's popular, blah blah blah. But I think I've had enough. Should move on before I get into trouble. Next thing I'm going to show you is this. They'll take along Devious Diesel. If I look at his face, he's angry. So why is he angry? And I've got the new version, and it's laughing at me. It's gay, and I'm using the word gay in the 1950s sense, guys. So I'm thinking, wow. I think Backman Diesel was also all happy and rosy and cheerful, and I'm starting to think, wow, what's going on there? Maybe it'd be good to look at a breakdown between those two. And I've also got the Tender Engine Gordon. There's the new version versus one of the classic older ones. This is the take and play version. I'm quite curious to see what's going on in there, particularly with the face. It is different, it's quite subtle on this one. It's very interesting. We've got a very subtle change on some characters, and on other characters got great big changes. So I'm sort of wondering why. It's a good question to ask. On that Thomas Love video, there were actually 3 Thomases used to make that video. I'm thinking, this is not confirmed yet, I'm thinking you're doing a giveaway where the 3 Thomases used in the video is first prize, and I'm pretty sure what I will do, I'll mount it up so they become static models. These are not to be played with, because these are sort of connected to hopefully something which is pretty big, and I think it'd be a fantastic prize for someone to have up in their mantelpiece in their home to say, wow, I've got the trains from that video. And I'm doing it behind the scenes of how that video was made. I could say it was a complex video to make. For me, it was a very, very different video to make, because some people say, oh Leo, you can't put that up on YouTube because it's not a toy review. You're not reviewing a toy, how dare you? and it's part of the battle of the minds that I've been having with some other people on YouTube, and it's sort of the reason why Mad Bomber 2 got folded as well, and that story is coming out with the behind the scenes part of it. So it's interesting. Choo choo! There's a shop in Sydney, and it's called Daiso Japan. I don't know if this shop, I don't know if they're in the USA or not. And it's it's a $2.80 shop, and everything in the shop's $2.80. I think in Japan they're called 100 yen stores, and I think 100 yen's less than $2.80. So, welcome to Australia. It's a very interesting shop. The train in it is very similar to Tomy, same sort of wheels. It's not powered. It's got I haven't got the carriages yet, but it's actually a very, very impressive train, and my son absolutely loves this. It runs around on Trackmaster and Tony Track. I'd only paid $2.80 for that. It's actually pretty good, but we'll get to looking at those once I can get there's a whole train set they sell, and it's in bits and bobs, and you don't buy it as a whole, you buy it in $2.80 clumps. But Daiso shop is actually very interesting. I'm thinking of chopping and changing here. I'm thinking of looking at the dark side of those toys. I'm not sure whether it's worth going down that thing, and maybe we'll be trampling over other people's territory, and then you get YouTubers, ranting at you saying, "Oh, but you've stolen my ideas and whatnot." But hey, happens to me all the time. I'm a classic for people to come along and clone. Also been finding that in the Angry Birds realm. I paid $10 for that. I tried to argue the price down, and the argument is, no, the price stays up because that little critter there is super popular. I'm in the wrong business, I've just worked out. Many people ask me about what's going on with the diesel destruction video. I had to pull that back because the basically summertime here hit, and it's been a very hot summer. We had a lot of heat. I had one of the hottest summers for a long, long time, and I can't do that style of video when it's very hot because where I live there's a lot of bush around, and I've got to make a big fire to do that video because all those diesels are going to be burned. So I have to wait. Actually, it's after Easter now, and outside it's still like a hot summer's day. So we're going to have to probably wait till the equinox to be able to get to the cooler weather here. It's been a really long, hot summer. And I'm wondering whether that's going to translate to the northern hemisphere having a very, very extreme summer as well, because I noticed I think they had an extreme winter, and I've got a feeling when we have extremes, the doppelganger effect goes on, if that makes any sense, and it probably doesn't. The other things I've been seeing in the shops is that. Quite a weird set. That's not what you think it is. I'm hoping it was a squirter, but I don't think it is. That's a squirter. I think that's Bullstrode, but he's got a red hull on him. I don't know why. Who knows anymore? I found this in the shops. It looks quite fun. It's very similar to a Hot Wheels set. I think it was called, the Hot Wheels set's called Annihilation, I think, but I could be wrong. And it's like a ramp thing. We'll have to get it out and play with it. Maybe it's not fun because maybe it's not high enough there. Maybe I'll pull my son down to look at that because he sort of likes Thomas and stuff. And I also got the Shark set, the Take and Play Shark one, but that's a curious one, that set. And when I bring that one to YouTube, if I bring it to YouTube, it's going to be a very different review because it's not going to be glowing, unfortunately, on that one. On Hot Wheels, jumping and changing here, I might send that to a friend of mine. It's a car. It's actually got a problem. I don't think you'll be able to see the problem. I thought, oh, what I'll do, I'll be smart and I'll throw up a video, find the fault. But then I thought, well, hang on, no, the person who already does that's going to get quite angry. But it was in the Easter eggs, the Hot Wheels Easter egg thing, and it's got quite an obvious fault to it. And I'm wondering whether all the reject cars got pushed into basically Easter egg bundles. That's my conspiracy theory of the Hot Wheels Easter egg bundles, but I could be totally wrong. And then on books I've been reading, and you probably think, oh, well, this is boring now, but I've been reading that book there, and it's the original drummer of Kiss. Quite an interesting book. And the year before, or last year should I say, I read Ace Frehley's book. It was the original lead guitarist of the same band. And Peter's stories certainly do cross over with Ace's stories. And I think it's interesting to read about the person, Gene Simmons, who's the bass player, or bass, if you know the old joke, the bass player. The story between these two about Gene, well, it's the same. It's sort of sad too. I think the person that we need to read next is Mr. Paul Stanley, There was the front man or the lead singer, rhythm guitarist of Kiss, one of the best front men in rock and roll. Personally, I think the best person was Freddie Mercury. If you ever went to see a Queen concert, I saw Queen back in 1985, the Works tour, then you realise that you could be a Queen fan and that's all you need in life because you had it all in one band. And it's very sad that Freddie's no longer with us. I loved Freddie for all the things that he was and wasn't. But I'm hoping that's enough I've said in this vlog. I hate doing vlogs. I look stupid and I don't think people want to see, 40-something, fat something talking on YouTube. I know that for a fact. But what it was all about was the channel who came back to me 3 months late after a giveaway. Should we be lenient? Should we let that person claim a prize? I told this person I'm going to bring it to the audience and let them decide, so it's up to you to tell me, should we be fair or should we be harsh? And people should people play it by the rules? From now on, people have got to play it by the rules. There will be no more leniencies. I'm sorry about that, but that's actually fair to everyone else. If you let people come through and take advantage of the rules, well, that's really not fair. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I've said enough, and I've stolen my daughter's Mario hat. I better give it back to her. It's goodbye from Mario.
Blah 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 blah. Dad, get off! Boring. Let's talk about Minecraft. That was funny.